NoirCon so far. This would be the final talk of the day. Towards Noir version 1.0 we go. I am Savio, the product manager of Noir at Aztec Labs. Happy to meet you all here. Albeit exhausted, I'm also super excited as well as super happy to just meet you guys all here in person. So let's dive in. It's the end of the day, going to keep it simple. Three main things for this talk. First of all, what is 1.0? Second, why do 1.0? Why bother doing it at all? And third, as with all crypto questions, when is 1.0? Starting with what? Kev has done a great talk this morning over the history of Noir, how it started, how it got to where we are today. Just briefly recapping, Noir's infancy happened back in 2019-2020 as a brief exploration that was co-sponsored by both us at Aztec Labs, but also Ethereum Foundation. You see Kev's lovely commits here back in August 2020. That led to Noir's alpha that was in DevCon Bogota, actually, so the last DevCon in 2022. We announced the first public debut of the language itself, where in the same occasion, the first hackers also built with us on the different things and ideas around Noir itself. That then leads to last year, DevConnect Istanbul, 2023, where we announced the beta of Noir itself, covering both application as well as web browser developments of applications built with DK, built with Noir, and leads us to today, 2024. 2024 has been a super busy year at Aztec Labs, particularly with the Noir team. We have been building towards version 1.0 itself, which is mainly 3 Ps. First of all, we are aiming to achieve 1.0 as the best language that you ever need for zero-knowledge proofs, the most powerful language, the first P. Second, being production ready. It's amazing that we can achieve all the powerfulness, all the performance, but if we aren't delivering it to users' hands, there's little to none value towards all the work and sweat and blood that we are pouring in. Third, perhaps more importantly, it is meant to be a public good, not just by us, not just for us, but actually by you guys as well and for you guys as well. On the first P, powerful, throughout the last year, we have poured in a lot of sweats into building out a great ton of features. We have heard you guys when it took some time. We've heard you guys when you guys wanted trades, when you guys wanted macros, when you guys wanted generics. It took some time for us to get there, but we are very close, as well as some of them are actually completed at this point on achieving a powerful feature set for 1.0 itself. In terms of proving side of things, Noir has also come with a lot of optimization tricks that was built throughout the last year. And hand in hand with proving technology improvements in proving backends like Gutenberg and Plonky 2, we're also seeing like sub-second proofs in actually meaningful circuits like big num operations, RSA signature verifications that were previously even unimaginable to think about going into that time scale when it comes to proving. At the same time, Noir 1.0 is also meant to be production ready. So that means docs, that means tests, that means code reviews, that means audits, that means making Padme not just satisfied, but also happy in this meme. So that's what we're working towards, delivering production value to developers, Noir developers here, but also more importantly, Noir application users out there. And more importantly, third P is public good. Since day one, Noir has always been a public good, but for 1.0, we are also working towards making sure it's not just by us, but also by you guys. And very gladly, I would also like to take this chance to attribute the over 100 contributors at this point that worked on Noir, the language itself, worked on Noir libraries, worked on Noir tooling. It's amazing to basically witness the community that has been gathering over the language itself, but it's even more exciting to see the days to come where we start from here as the first version of the language itself. We talked about briefly what 1.0 will be, what 1.0 is, why bother spending all the energy as well as works into it at all. There are 3 main reasons. First of all, 1.0 is for Noirards. Throughout the last few years, we have came from only like 1 to 2 projects to over 600 different projects on GitHub only. So these are all like grassroots explorations, tests, researches, building with the language itself. And at the same time, we have also grown from 0 companies to more than 20 companies at this point that are building production-ready apps, that are building commercial applications that they would love to deploy. The 1.0 is coming together for the Noirds that are building out there and working towards building things in real-world impacts rather than just research and hacks that we have been doing in alpha stage and beta stage. But in addition to for Noirds, it's also for CK. We at Aztec Labs has long been a true believer in privacy technology, and particularly zero-knowledge proofs as the privacy technology when it comes to trust assumptions and versatility. And particularly on versatility, we have just had 3 great talks from the Marlin team, from the Tachio team, from the Hashcloak team on how Noir can actually be mixed and matched with different privacy technologies to offer the spectrum that we have never imagined when it comes to designing privacy apps. Private share states is the future. And last but not least, it's also for the people, for our mamas, for our grandmas, for our next generations. Some of you might know that I came from Hong Kong itself. I don't think a lot of people know that I came to CK and Noir largely because of what happened in Hong Kong. It has always troubled me to imagine how things could have been different for my friends, for my families, if the technology was there, if the application was there. It also at the same time excites me about how things could have been different for all the people out there in different countries in the future days to come if the technology is there, if the applications is there. So this has been a strong reason for why I came to Noir and CK, and I assure you that, well, you guys all had your reasons why you came to CK, why you came to Noir. And I assure you that in the coming days, you will be discovering a lot more different reasons why you come and why people come to CK as well. Do remember them, do hold on to them when you start building with CK, when you start building with Noir. Those values are your best guiding posts when it comes to developing CK, when it comes to building with Noir itself. So having covered what 1.0 is, why 1.0 is, all the gibberish, now is the main dish. When is 1.0 coming? I'm proud to present you the Noir 1.0 roadmap, which covers 4 main phases. First of all, this quarter we'll be working on pre-release. Next, we'll be working on audit freezes, and then followed by audits and full release. We'll dive into each one of them. This quarter, we are working heavily towards the early access release of 1.0 itself. This is to make sure not just us at Aztec gets the head start, but the entire Noir community can actually start building with 1.0 towards production while it gets through all the other audit preparations. You guys can also start building the applications, ideas, thoughts that you might have in mind. And this is the phase where you will get to enjoy the first P that I mentioned just now, about the over 70 features, about the sub-second proof times. This is what is coming with the first 1.0 pre-release. Moving on then to next quarter, the core team will be working on audit freezes as well as audit preparations of the language itself. That covers the different modules of the language from compiler all the way to ACPM, etc., etc. Incrementally, things would be further optimized, would be documented, would be tested, would be internally audited. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this phase would be the point where we no longer have to draw 25 cards and can finally start stabilizing rather than pushing out breaking changes every 2 weeks. I know you guys have complained about that. We heard you. We are closing in on that. Towards the third phase, that would be the first half of 2025, which would be when external audits as well as full audits of the language would be taking place to make sure things are production ready. And this is the point where Padme hopefully smiles over the audits of Noir itself. And that then brings us to Q2 of 2025, where the full release of Noir 1.0 will be coming. And we're here. we are still super early into this Noir 1.0 roadmap. There's a lot to do moving forward, not just by the core team, but also by a lot of you guys, both building the language itself, but also building applications and projects around it. And this leads us to 1.0 we go. This is the point where we start on the entire roadmap and start delivering the Noir 1.0 that we have been talking about, we have been dreaming about throughout the last few years. And thank you so much for coming to NoirCon itself. But before we go, there's 1.0 more thing. I'm proud to announce that the first beta release of 1.0 will be coming end of next week, 22nd of November. So stay tuned. Follow the NoirLang Twitter. We'll be announcing it. This is exciting. But there's also one more thing. I'm also happy to announce that NoirCon 1 will be coming July 2025 at France. So definitely looking forward to meet you guys there during UCC times. It would be super fun, both for CK, but also for Noir this time. Looking forward to see you all there. Let's start building with Noir. Thank you all. So yeah, that would be the closing remarks. If you have questions, happy to talk about them outside. But yeah, this would be the wrap of NoirCon 0. Thank you all for coming.